All right. If you remember last time, we learned from a portion of the Talmud in Megillah. It's called Tractate Megillah. That it says over there that there is, wherever the Jews go in exile, right after they were exiled from the second temple, even from the first temple. So it says God's presence went with them. Galu lababel shechina imayim. When the Jews were taken to Babylon after the destruction of the first temple, so it says God's presence was with them. So the Gemara says, where was God's presence? So it says in the synagogues, and especially there were 2 synagogues at least, lists over there. It says, and after that, when the second temple was destroyed, as the God's presence went with them also. And there's always, in every synagogue, a genuine synagogue, a place of learning, that God's presence is there with the Jews. But there's always one special place where that's the main place where Torah and prayer is carried out, and it spreads to the whole entire world. There's always one place like that. There's always one place like that. And that is called Mikdash Me'at. It's called the small temple. When the Jews go back to Israel, because of course all these temples will go back to it, back to Israel. And the holy temple will come from heaven, the third holy temple, but all of these small holy temples will go there also. Huh? How are they going to get there? A fly. I don't know. I mean, that's what it says. Buildings are pretty big. So would they go with their basement also? I guess the basement. What about the next door neighbors? I don't know the details. We'll have to find out. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, now, Judaism is based on miracles, right? Every day, the religious Jews, you pray, and we're mentioning going out of Egypt. Zecher l'yetzias Mitzrayim, zecher l'yetzias Mitzrayim. We're always talking about going out of Egypt, right? God took us close. He split the sea. We talk every day. We pray. We sing the songs the Jews sang as they left and they crossed over the sea. Az Yashir Moshe. We make kiddush on Shabbat and all of our prayers. Zecher l'yetzias Mitzrayim, remembering going out of Egypt. Going out of Egypt. Why? Because Judaism is based on miracles. Judaism is based on God revealing himself, God, the creator of the universe, revealing himself to the Jewish people, not just as the creator, as the reason why he created the world. Something much deeper than being the creator. That's why God, when he took the Jews, that's called a miracle. A miracle means that God changes the creation. That God changes the creation. To say that God is the creator, that's also very wonderful. But that's what it says, that a thief, before he goes to steal, he prays to God for success. Why? Because God created him to be a thief. So he says, I'm serving my creator. I just want to be a good thief. But once again, it says in the Torah, you're not supposed to steal. Now you're mixing things up, right? I mean, I'm recognizing that God is my creator. I think that's enough. It's not enough. I'm sorry, it's not enough. It's a good thing, wonderful. You have to realize that God is your creator, but it's not enough. God creates not just you; He creates the spiritual worlds also. No, so let them do their thing, and I'll do my thing. Says no, but God created the Torah, and the Torah says you have to use free will. The upper world, the angels, they don't have free will. You have free will, and the Torah is telling you to use your free will the way that God wants. That's the purpose of the world. That's the whole purpose of the world. So that's the whole idea of the Jewish people, to show the world there's a purpose, there's a law, there's good, there's bad. And that's the idea of the Beit Rabbeinu Shabbat, the Holy Temple in general, that God cares about the world, physical world. This physical world is the most important for God. That's the whole idea of the Holy Temple. And when the Jews are outside of Israel, so they also have holy temples, but they're called small holy temples. It's called the Beit Rabbeinu, the house of our teacher. Nimshachas, this is drawn, and also in the future when the Jewish people will be redeemed. It says the Jewish people will be redeemed, brought back to Israel. Yisrael. What happened? Oh, when they do this, so as then Atidim Bati Knesset, then it says that it's going to be that all of the synagogues, the call Beit Midrashes, and all the places of learning with Babel, with our outside of Israel, Yigvu Beretz Israel, will somehow or other make them their way to the land of Israel. Will they float? Will they fly? Will they be, what do they call it? Be disappear and appear, reappear there? I don't know. But it's going to happen. Miracles. Hashrat HaShekhinah, that's the essence of Judaism. Hashrat HaShekhinah Bakol Makom, the presence, God's presence in every place where the Jews are, and the revelation of God's presence by means of this Mikdash Me'at, these little holy temples, namely the places of learning and prayer, Sheba Artzot, in the lands where the Jews are, Me'ayin V'dugma, something like it was in Jerusalem, something like that. Eino Elo B'Zman HaGalut, that's only in the time of exile. When Atidim L'Ge'el, after the third temple will come from heaven and all the Jews will be brought back to Israel. Tachzor Shechina, Gila Shechina, the God's presence will be revealed in Yerushalayim. V'lo tishe'er sham b'makom shagala Yisrael kavar. The Shekhinah will come back to Jerusalem, and it won't remain any revelation of God in the places where they were. Hainu shalo tiyeh hashras Shekhinah b'makom chutz la'aretz. God's presence will not be outside of Israel anymore. She'alav omer mikdash me'ad, where these holy temples, little holy temples were. Even shehaya mikdash me'ad, it was the main purpose of these little holy temples, like 770. We're going to see that's the main place. Yakor mimakom, because they'll be removed from that place and they'll be set in the land of Israel. But mikdash, God will be Yerushalayim, in the holy temple of Jerusalem. How's that going to happen? We'll see. Therefore, Omer b'mikdash atid lavo, says that in the holy temple, Beit HaMikdash Gadol ki Yerushalayim sheba'olam hazeh lefi sheb'Yerushalayim. It says in the Midrash. I'm sorry. It says in the Midrash, atid lavo yeh Beit HaMikdash Gadol ki Yerushalayim. It says in the future that the holy temple, the third holy temple, will be the size of all of Jerusalem. Because Yerushalayim, Jerusalem, in the future will be joined, the Mikdash Yachtav, because it will be joined there, all of the places of all of the synagogues and the places of learning that were in the whole world. So you can imagine, you'll go to synagogue and pray, and you finish your prayer, you go outside, where am I? I'm in Jerusalem. How did I get here? Right? I felt something move a little bit. Maybe it's going to be like that. I don't know, but it's going to be. Well, rumors, and if people know the time when it's going to fly, maybe they can just, go there with all their baggage and everything, save money. It says that all the Jews are going to be flown to Israel. Ananei Shammai, it says on clouds. Okay, we'll see. Nevertheless, let's take it little by little. The third temple will come from heaven. It's already ready. All of the synagogues in the world. What's going on over here? The third temple says all of the synagogues in the world will all the synagogues in the world will all fly to the land of Israel. Which is hinted also in the sentence, God, it says, we say in our prayers, I will bring them to my holy mountain and I will make them happy in my place of prayer. This will be the place of the prayer of all nations. This refers to the holy temple in the future. In this physical world, Galut, in exile, it will be the place that will all the nations, all the synagogues, and all of the nations where we are in exile, in the future, all these places will come to the land of Israel. And all the synagogues in the world will be joined to the holy temple. What's that going to do for the real estate outside? I don't know how it's going to be, but it says that one of the main features of the future redemption it says that there will not be any, how do you say, any lacking. There won't be poverty. There won't be famine. People will not lust for for other people's property, because everybody will have what they need and more. And believe me, there's not enough land in the world to provide for everybody, no problem. If there just were no wars, there used to be, I had friends that told me that it used to be that in Russia, I don't know how it is now, but in Russia, in the places like in the East Russia and in Bukhara and those places, there was, the markets were filled with fruits and everything. And in Moscow and other places, maybe not Moscow, but Petersburg, other places, the same fruits cost a fortune, and there were famines that people didn't have. They had to wait in line for bread, things like that, because there was just no transportation, and the mafia controlled everything. In other words, there was just so much avarice and selfishness that it just wrecked everything. In the future, there won't be all this selfishness. People will be happy to express their ability, and people will care about each other. That's the main thing. People will care about each other. There won't be crooked governments, and there won't be crooked leaders. So that's what it says in the future. Everything is going to be drawn. All these synagogues will be drawn to the land of Israel. According to this, we can even say even more. But go to Lamala of Mikdash Miyad. Now we can understand a little bit more the importance of these small holy temples, namely all of the synagogues that are outside of Israel now. The cave in Jerusalem, that since in Jerusalem of Benuya, that built Jerusalem in the future will be Chubrala, the Mikdash Yaktov, that will be joined to it, to the holy temple. All of the places of synagogues that were in this world, Nimsa, so it comes out, Atan now, Begalus in exile, Beit Knesset, Harihu Makom Mikdash Gufi Lasid. It means that the place where you go to pray, your little synagogue that you have, right, in some corner, and that you go to pray, and the whole neighborhood is changing. There's only 10 people that go there, right? So you might think, the whole place is falling. The fact of the matter is that every synagogue outside of Israel is like a little holy temple, and it's going to be joined. It'll be revealed in the future. Holy temple. Something's happening in Kfar Chabad. Yesh Lomer, we can say, Shechibor Beit Knesset Shebakol Eretz Amim is LaBeit HaMikdash in the future will be fitting Lefi Erech Chiluki Dargo Shebenim. How are they? Who's going to decide which one's going to be first? How the synagogue is going to fly? What's going on over here? It says because each synagogue is going to have its level. Shabbat Knesset. What type of levels? Bate Knesset Amiyuchadim, the special synagogues. Sheyesh Bem Ma'ale Yetera, that have some sort of a special charm to them, a special purpose. Lagabi Sharon regarding the others, like Beit Hutzel. It says that in Babylon, there was one in Hutzel, and there was another one, a Beit Kanishta in Dashaf, Yasiv, in Nardaya, and the Dashaf Yasiv, and there's a place called Dashaf Yatziv, whatever, in Nardaya, these different towns. And Beit Rabbeinu Shabbabavel, those were called the house of our teacher in exile. This place called the house of our teacher, the big ones, the main ones, they will be Kodmin before, they will be the first ones to join the Holy Temple. Sheyu Mechubarim Mamish, they will be joined really right next to the Holy Temple, touching without any division between them. Al Yadama, by means of this and through them, will be joined to the Holy Temple, all of the other synagogues in the world. Okay, I'm going to just tell you what the Rebbe is going at, and just so we see. The Rebbe is going to say that 770 Eastern Parkway, the headquarters of Chabad in New York, which was chosen by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe, this is a place where the center where the Rebbe lived, the Rebbe did all of his teaching and all of his praying, and also this is the place where the school is, the yeshiva, where all the pupils learn, and this is the place where all of the shluchim went out to the whole world. The Rebbe's emissaries went out to the whole world. And that's where all the orders went out to all these emissaries, what to do and how to arouse Jews totally, lost, confused, the identity-less, missing identity Jews that don't even know that they're Jews, and arouse them to the fact that they're Jews, to arouse them that they're the sons of God, the chosen of God, that they have a special job to do, and only they can do it, right? To bring revelation to the whole world that there's a creator and the creator loves everybody, that everybody is special. And to bring this revelation, says that one place, that's 770. And that 770 Eastern Parkway especially was designed for that, to go out. Yeterem Yizu, even more, we can say, that the temple in the future, that it's already built, will be revealed from heaven. Yitkaleh will be revealed, first of all, b'makom, in place, shenasa migdash, shenasa mikodesh v'yashev sham. That is, that first of all, the holy temple will be revealed outside of Israel, Beit Ravina Shabbabavel, and then it'll go to Jerusalem. Oh, in other words, the holy temple, the real holy, third holy temple, it won't come down to Jerusalem first. It'll settle in Jerusalem, but it has a special job. It has to bring all of the synagogues in the world to it. So we can say it'll go to Jerusalem first, and that's it. But the Rebbe said that we can say that the holy temple, the third temple, will appear, first of all, outside of Israel, and then it'll magnetize, draw the main synagogue, Beit Rabbeinu Shabbabavel, which the Rebbe is going to say that's 772 it, and from there, and that main synagogue outside of Israel will draw all the other synagogues to it. Okay, the whole thing seems about a little bit fantastic, right? But Judaism is fantastic. Judaism is based on this whole miracle story of the Jews getting out of Egypt. There's no other religion that even made up such a story. A whole entire nation, millions and millions of people, they were all slaves. They all got out. God split the sea. He brought bread from heaven. He gave them the Torah, brought them to Mount Sinai. Where do you get such a story like this? This is what's going to and that's going to be nothing compared to the final redemption. The third temple. This revelation of God's Shekhinah, Mikdash Me'at, in the small temple that's outside of Israel, Ha'ikri Babel, which is outside of Israel, which is in Gullus, Babel is in exile. Shenasa Mikdash v'Yashev Sham, that it'll V'Yashem Mikodesh, and it'll just dwell there, that it will fly from outside of Israel and come to Israel. He Shein Golim. This is also, in other words, the existence of these small miniature, what do you call it, the similes of the holy temple outside of Israel, these little holy temples, and especially this main little holy temple outside of Israel, this will still exist when the Jewish people are redeemed. It's not that they'll all disappear, all the Jewish people just leave all their synagogues and they'll all come to Israel. That also could be, but it's not going to be that way. It says in this Gemara that the synagogues themselves will actually fly. And there's going to be one main synagogue that's going to lead all of them, and that's going to be 770. We'll see Eastern Parkway. And that's going to be joined with the Holy Temple. And it could be that the Holy Temple will come there first and join to this Holy Temple outside of Israel and draw them all. So therefore, these little holy temples will still be there when the Jews are redeemed. Kamabur, like it's explained in this sugya, in this chapter in the Talmud, it says that even when the Jewish people are in exile, God's presence is with them. Like it says, Shava Shem Elotecha et Shevutcha, that God will return your exiles. But the word et also means with. So God will return with your exiles. Heishiv lo ne'amar. It doesn't say that God will return them, but it says he will return with them. Heshiv means to do something to someone else, and shav means to do it yourself. So God himself will return. Elav shav. It says that God himself will return. Malamet, so we learned that God himself is in exile and he will return with the Jewish people that are now in exile. It says, Et shavutcha, like im, with, mibein hagaliot, from the exiled Jews. All the Jews are coming out from exile, God will be with them. Kolomar, gam barega acharon, even in the last moment of exile, Nimsa, the Shekhinah, is in the place where the Jews are exiled. Shenasa mikdash v'yeshev sham. That says that the holy temple will travel and it will go with them. Misham Shava Kodesh Baruch Hu. In these holy temples outside of Israel, God will return with the Jewish people to the holy temple in Jerusalem, to Hashrot, to reveal the Shekhinah there forever. The cave and its sins. The cave and its sins. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that God returns with the Jews from the exile, from this little holy temple, Beit Rabbeinu Shabbavel, like we said before, the holy temple which is in exile, Shenasa Mikadosh V'Yashav Sham, that it will dwell, the holy temple will, the little holy temple will dwell in Jerusalem. So it comes out, Shabama comes there, Mitchila Nasit Geula. It comes out that in this holy temple, which is outside of Israel, that's when from there God's presence will begin the revelation. A revelation in all of its power, not just in a way of a little holy temple, but the final holy temple will be revealed there outside of Israel. Again, we have to stress, the only one that's really going crazy about this whole idea of Moshiach and redemption and making everybody believe it and making everybody do something, turning all the Jews back to Judaism, finding Jews, discovering Jews, revealing Jews, waking up Jews, right, is the Rebbe. He's the only one that's making this tremendous upheaval in the whole entire world, spending billions, trillions of dollars, and who knows how many millions and millions of hours and energy and self-sacrifice, sending his Hasidim out just to look for Jews, just to find a Jew, making one Jew do a commandment, and wanting absolutely nothing in return, just to wake up a Jew. In another way of saying it, and the whole purpose of this, of course, is why do you wake up the Jews? Because that will be the future redemption. That when all the Jews wake up, or at least the critical mass, then Moshiach will bring the third temple from heaven, and all of the synagogues in the world, led by the main synagogue in the world, will all fly to Israel. In another way of saying it, Kashem Shivas Shekhinah, just like the dwelling of the Shekhinah. And the return of the Shekhinah will be from the place where it is found in exile. Also, return of the future holy temple. That the whole idea is that God's presence is in the temple, will be in the place where the holy temple was outside of Israel in the time of exile. That in this place was revealed first, and afterwards it'll move from its place and it'll go to Jerusalem. So maybe we can say, Shemarumas Belushan, this is hinted at in the language of the Rambam, in the laws of the king of Moshiach, right at the end of the 14 volumes of Jewish law that the Rambam writes. What does it say over there? Ubana, that the Moshiach will bana mikdash bimakomo. It says the Moshiach will come and he will build the temple in his place, or in its place. Now you can say, what does it mean? He'll build the holy temple in its place. It means in Jerusalem, right? But it can also say, you don't have to say that. You can just say he'll build the holy temple. Everybody knows it's going to be in Jerusalem. What does he have to say? He'll build the holy temple in his place. Therefore, at first glance, why do you have to say that it's going to be built in his place? And why doesn't he explain what place this is? Right? It should have said Yibana Migdash b'Makom b'Yerushalayim. It doesn't say that. It says he'll build it in his place. The third temple will be built in his place. This hints at what? The place where the Moshiach will be. The place where Moshiach is in the time of exile. Where is the Moshiach in the time of exile? 770. That's what the Rebbe is going to say. Here the Rebbe is announcing in front of everybody that he's the Moshiach. Lifnei shehari zeh Moshiach bavadai. Even before everybody knows that this is certainly the Moshiach. What's the sign of the certainly Moshiach? That he's going to build the temple. That's what the Moshiach is going for. That'll finalize it. Hainu shebiyoso begulas, when he is in exile, that then the Moshiach is sitting and he's waiting to redeem all the Jewish people and to redeem also God with them, right? The Shekhinah with them. And God says that God went with them into exile. It says the Mashiach, while he's waiting, will build the Melech HaMashiach, the temple, the small temple, we said, Shehu me'ayin v'dugmas mikdash b'Yerushalayim, which will be something like the Holy Temple in Jerusalem. What's the Holy Temple in Jerusalem? Everybody, Torah, prayer, Kamo, just like Beit Kanishta, the Shaf, and Yasiv, just like the Holy Temple that was the holy, the synagogues that were in this place of Dashaf and the place of Yasiv that were in Babylon, these special places. Shanasa Migdash v'Yeshav Sham. It says that the Holy Temple was dwelling there. Betor Hachana, this was a preparation for the future redemption. She'id Galet Techila Sham, that God's presence, that the third temple, the God's revelation will be revealed there first. It says Yibana Beit Hamikdash Bimakomo, in his place. That's what is hinted at when it says that there was the Holy Temple it was moved into Babylon. It was Beit Rabbeinu Shabbat, and it'll move and it'll be there. First of all, it'll be there, and from there it will return with God and all the Jewish people to Jerusalem. Where is this going to be? And now the Rebbe is going to explain how this is 770 Eastern Parkway, and we're going to learn, God willing, tomorrow. Be with us tomorrow. Let's now learn Hayom Yom. Come on. Not letting me do it. Okay. Here. Hayom Yom. What's this over here? Okay. Good. Here we go. 1 second. Hayom Yom. My father said, this is written by the previous Lubavitcher Rebbe. So his father was the fifth Rebbe of Chabad, the Rebbe Shalom Dovber. Truth is the middle path. If a person goes too much to the right, namely to be too strict with yourself and find faults and sins not according to the truth, in other words, to be too interested in being good, or an inclination to the left, or a person going too much to the left. What does it mean to the left? To be covering yourself up. That's how the Tanya starts off, right? Covering your faults over, being lenient in the commands. And the Tanya starts off that a person has to look at himself like he's evil, Karusha. You have to look at yourself like you're evil. Says, what if you do that? You're going to be too strict with yourself. You're never going to be happy. You got to be happy in Judaism. Says, but on the other hand, if you try to be happy too much, then you're going to start doing sins. Says both of these ways are false and wrong. To be too strict with yourself and to too lenient with yourself, you have to find the middle path. As we're going to talk about, God willing, tomorrow. Have a good day with Moshiach now.